Hello everyone, my name is Chandan and I welcome you all to my channel once again. This is the 13th video in TestNG tutorial series, and what we are going to see today is TestNG depends on methods and depends on groups attributes. Alright, so let's quickly open Eclipse and see what are they, right? This is the same project that I have used earlier in my last video, and then if you notice, we have we have a new package created within this src folder. All right, you can ignore the rest of the packages for this video. All right, and for this video all we need is you will need testng uh, references as well as selenium references, because we are going to understand depends on methods with some selenium scripts as well. All right, so let's quickly see what do we have under depends on method, depends on package. So the first one is depends on class. We'll go to second one later, or maybe we don't need to go there. Let's see. All right. So now within this depends on class, you will find 5 different test methods. They are all with at the red test annotation, and they all have this sysout statements. All right. So let me just right click on it and let me just run them. Right. So, okay, they were successful, and if you see, the order of execution is some like jumble word, close Chrome, launch Chrome, sign in, sign out, verify success message. But this is not the order I want, or this is not the order I have written the methods, right? I want the Chrome to be launched first, and then sign in, and then verify success message, sign out Chrome, right? Let me just show you what I'm trying to achieve. So the Chrome will be invoked, all right, and then we'll land to this page, and within this we are going to put in username, password, and hit login, and then we are going to quickly verify whether we get this message on the page or not, and then finally we are going to log out. And right after logout we are going to close the application. That means we'll close the browser. All right, so this is what the methods all about. All right, so now if you see here, we saw that the methods were not executed in the order they have been written, right? Because we all know that if we don't have any attribute or any controlling statement, like attribute like priority, then it is going to execute the test in alphabetical order, right? So that's the reason why close Chrome, since C comes before L, close Chrome was executed first, and then it executed rest of the methods in the alphabetical order. All right, but this is not the way we want. So the first one, I told you that we can use priority, but before we go ahead, let me just tell you that if you are not aware of what is priority, if you are new to TestNG, I'll tell you, I will highly recommend you to go to this link. This is my this is a playlist under my channel. I'll provide the link in the description below. All right. So, and you have to come to this playlist and go for this tutorial part number 5, that is how to set priority. I've explained in detail. That's the reason why most of my videos are long, because I explain a lot with different examples and I talk a lot as well. So 36 minutes you will be giving to priority, and I can assure you that you will understand what is priority, what is the use of priority, and how we can use them in our test. All right, so let's come back to this. So one way is priority, all right, and the other way is depends on methods. So let's see what it is. So I want sign in to be executed only after launch Chrome, right? Only after launch Chrome is executed successfully. Similarly, I want to verify success message only after my sign in was successful, right? Only after I'm able to sign, only after I logged into the machine, logged into the application successfully, I should see this message. I cannot see that right after launching the Chrome, or you know any other way. I want to make sure that I get this message, get the successful message only after I sign. Similarly, for sign out, you want to make sure that I signed out of the application only I am successfully logged in and the message was successfully displayed, right? And similarly, right after sign out, you want to make sure that the Chrome is successfully closed, right? Or I was successfully signed out, right? So let's see how we can achieve that using depends on statements. So the first statement, which says sign in should be called or executed only after launch Chrome is executed successfully. So let me just add the attribute that we are going to see today, sorry, methods equals to launch cron. All right. So if you see here, we are creating a dependency between launch cron and sign in. That is a link between launch cron and sign in. And the link says that sign in depends on a method called launch cron, right? So we have created a dependency on launch cron by sign in. All right. Similarly, for verify success message, we want to create a dependency on sign in, right? So let me copy the name of the method and paste it here, right? So now there is a relation between verify success message and sign in, and the relation is that verify success message is dependent on sign in. That means it will be executed only after sign in is executed successfully. All right. Similarly, let's create a dependency on sign out. I'm sorry, on verify success message, and sign out will now depend on the message that we have on right after sign in successfully. And similarly, we are going to close the browser only after we successfully sign out of the application. So let me just add that statement here as well. So instead of verify message, we are going to sign out. So now I guess we have created a dependency between different methods. Okay, so I hope everything is correct. Right. So let me quickly just run this and show you what I'm trying to explain. All right, now if you see here, the way it has executed, it started from launch Chrome, then sign in, and then verify success message, and then sign out, close Chrome. Exactly the way we want TestNG to execute my test, right? So this is what is test, what is depends on method, right? You create a dependency between different methods and make sure that one method is executed successfully before the other method is executed. All right, now let's see what happens if one of the method gets failed. All right, say for example, right after launching Chrome, right, my sign in was failed for any reason. It could be, providing incorrect username and password, or it can be anything, right? Or maybe the username field is not present at all. So for that reason, sign in was not successful. So let me fail this and see what happens. All right. So let me just. I haven't covered assert so far because it's a big topic, and but just for now, just understand that assert is something which validates two different components, all right, two different elements, and if they are equal, for this context, I mean for this sign in itself, if they are equal, then it will pass the test, else it will fail the test, right? So let me just use assert dot assert equal equals, yeah, not this one, we want to go for this TestNG assert. All right, so if you see actual and expected, so anything, let's go for like, I will just explain you. All right. So now what is asserts this statement doing? This is asserting whether this string and this string are equal. We know that they are not equal, so that's why this particular line will fail this method. All right. So assertion is a way to validate something. Okay. So right now we are validating whether actual and expected are equal or not. All right. So let's see what happens. Right click on it. We know that they are going to fail, okay, and we want to see what happens if we have depends on methods attribute on top of the method which failed. Okay, right click on it, run as testng test. Okay. Okay, now if you see, we have some errors. All right, and if you see here, it has executed launch cron successfully, and then it executed sign in. All right, and that's something, and you can see the only passed test is launch Chrome, and the failed one is sign in, right? So the sign in was not successfully executed, it failed. Okay, and the error, the reason was expected, this word expected but found actual, right? Because the expected keyword is not, expected string is not equal to actual, that's why it failed. All right, so let me show you the report as well. Within this, if you see here, launch Chrome with a green tick, that means it was successfully executed. But sign in, it has a red X. I'm sorry, black X. Sorry, it's blue, I guess. Yeah, blue X on it. So that means this is failed. Okay, we have an error on that. And if you see, these are yellow. Verify success message, sign out, Chrome, they are yellow. With yellow, it means they were skipped. These three methods were skipped. So let me just show you in the console report at the end. You see here, total test run was 5, out of which 1 failed and 3 were skipped. 3 skipped. The 3 which were skipped were verify success message, sign out, and close Chrome. These 3 were not executed, they were instead skipped. Okay, and sign in was failed. Okay, so if you understand, if we have a method which failed, and we have certain methods which depends on that method, then that method will be skipped. So this is the reason why verify success message was not executed and it was skipped, because it has a dependency on sign in, and my sign in was failed. It was failed for this reason. All right, for some reason sign in was failed, and that's why verify success message was not executed, because it has a dependency, and that's why it was skipped. And similarly, since this was skipped, since verify success message was not executed, sign in sign out was also skipped, right? Because it has a dependency on verify success message, right? It depends on verify success message, and for the same reason close Chrome was also not executed, because it has a dependency on sign out, right? And sign out was not executed. So remember that if we have a test case fail for some reason, the method which depends on that particular test will not be executed, it will be skipped. All right, and I wanted to tell you something else as well. We can make a method depend on two different methods as well, two different tests as well. So say for example, my close Chrome, right? We can my closing of Chrome can happen. I mean, you can make sure that I close the Chrome only if sign out is executed successfully, as well as my launch Chrome method was successful, right? This message was, because we understand that, in case my browser was not invoked, there is no point of closing a Chrome. So how do we add two dependency on a method? So you have to, add the same text depends on methods equals to, and then you have to open a curly braces, add the first dependency, and add the second method, that is the launch Chrome. Okay, we're adding it here and close it. That's it. All right, so this way you can add multiple dependency on a test as well. So let me just run it and see what happens. All right, now if you see here, again the same thing, launch Chrome, sign in, verify success message, sign out, close Chrome, right? Close Chrome was not executed because launch Chrome was successful, but sign out was failed, right? Sign out was not executed, hence close Chrome was not executed. They both have to be successful. All right, but if in case I remove this sign out from here, say for example, let's remove it. All right, and since we have only one, let's do that. Okay, and now let's run and see what happens. Okay, now if you see, we don't have a dependency on sign out. The close Chrome doesn't have dependency on sign out, right? It has dependency only on launch Chrome. That means if my launch Chrome method is successful, then it should be executed as well. So right click on it, run as TestNG test. Right, so if you see here, let me go to, we have a bunch of errors there, so this is easy. So launch Chrome was successful, close Chrome was successful, sign in was failed, and for the same reason verify success message and sign out were skipped, they were not executed. All right, so if you see the report here, again 5 tests run, 1 failure, 2 skipped, right? 2 were verify success and sign in. All right, Yeah, I'm sorry. Sign out and verify success message were skipped. The reason was verify success message was dependent on sign in, which failed, and sign out was dependent on verify success message, which was never executed. All right. So this is all about depends on method. Let me just quickly change this statement. All right, all the sysout statement and put them, replace them with our Selenium script. All right. So I'm not going to replace them. I'm going to just show you that we have the same class. I mean, depends on method with the same test that we have in order to save some time. Okay. So if you see here, launch Chrome, sign in, verify, success message, log out, close Chrome, right? Same methods. And we are going to, and let me just explain you what we have written here. This is the same setup, set property, system.set property for our Chrome driver, right? And then we are launching the browser using this statement. All right. And driver manage, you can ignore this line, as I always tell you that I have multiple monitors and I want to set one monitor for this. I want to tell driver that use this particular monitor for my execution. So you can always, you don't have to write this statement in your script, all right, in case you have only one monitor. And then I'm maximizing it, and then I'm setting an implicit wait of 10 seconds, right? That means it will wait for 10 seconds for any element before it throws an element, throws an error. All right, and then we are going to this, we are launching this particular site. All right, that is what we are achieving in launch Chrome. And then under sign in, we are finding the username uh, element, we are sending this username, and similarly for password we are setting this password, and then we are clicking on login button. And right after that we are verifying the message, as I showed you the green message. So this is the XPath for that message, and we are getting the text, we are saving it in, we are getting it in message, and then we are validating whether this message contains this particular message or not, right? If it contains, then true, right? So as I told you that assert compares two different values. So this is the first value. That means my message contains this. If it's true, if it is true, then it is going to compare with true. If this is not true, then it will be false, and false when compared with true will be failed, right? Will get failed. So that is in verify success message. And then we are going to log out, and other within log out, this is just a sysout statement, the same sysout statement. And I'm finding the element of the login logout button and I'm clicking on logout button. And finally, I'm quitting the browser. That means driver.quit, right? If you understand, if you keep a little bit idea of Selenium, then maybe following what I'm saying. All right. So now if we see, we don't have any depends on created against all of them. So let me just quickly add the depends on statement, copy them from the first class. So we don't have any depends on launch Chrome because that's the first thing, first method that we want to execute. I guess we already have added. Oh, that's good. So if you see, for sign in, we have added depends on method launch Chrome, right? And similarly for verify success method, we have the dependency on sign in, right? And for logout, we have dependency on sign in as well as verify success message, right? The way I told you that we can create multiple dependency on a method, on different methods for a method. So similarly, this time, last time we created on close Chrome, this time we created on logout, that is a sign out. So for logout, the logout is depending on two different execution. The first one is verify success method, all right, and then the other one sign in. We should not sign out unless we sign in, right? There is no point of signing out before signing in. So dependency on two different methods. And then finally at the end, we are, closing the Chrome, and the dependency is all okay. Let me just get rid of this. I'll cover that. All right. So closing Chrome, close Chrome will depend on logout. All right. So let me just run this. I hope I have explained you the code. In case you don't understand it, like just let me know. I mean, I hope that you keep a little bit idea of Selenium. All right. In case you don't, then you can just ignore it, because I've explained everything that I wanted to explain in the first class itself. But this is just to show you that we can actually do that using Selenium script as well. So every time I tell you that you can replace this out statement with the actual commands actual Selenium commands. All right. So let me just run. This time I'm running depends on class depends on 0 to run as TestNG test, and let's see what happens. All right, the Chrome was invoked, maximize, punch in the username, password, login, and verified logout complete. All right, it was very fast. And if you see here, the order of execution is, yeah, I mean, probably I forgot to add the sysout statement for launch, but let me just show you. They all have been passed. They all were passed. And if you see launch Chrome, then sign in, then verify success message, log out, close Chrome. Same order that we wanted it to execute. All right. So now if you see here, logout was dependent on verify success message and sign in, and that's why it was executed successfully. All right. So say for example, in sign in, I'm failing this particular, I'm adding assert statement and using the same actual and expected, I am failing this particular method. All right. And let's see what happens, right? As I told you that if one of the method fails, then whatever the method depending on that particular method will be skipped. They will not execute. Okay. They will not fail. They will be skipped. They will not be executed. So since verify success message is dependent on sign in, that's why this particular method will be skipped. And since logout method depends on this, so that's why this will be also skipped, and similarly this will be skipped as well. So right click on it and let's see what happens now. Run as TestNG test. Okay, if you see, it hasn't closed the browser. Why did it log in? Just a minute. uh, okay, sign in was failed, and then okay. I'm so sorry. I was just shocked to say, why it was able to log in successful. The reason is we added the assert script at the end, and it actually executed this commands. All right, so we need to keep this on the top of the method and run this out. Let me just quickly run this once again. I'm so sorry. So right click on it, run as TestNG test. If you see, the window is still open. It did not punch in username and password, and nothing is happening. So let's go to Eclipse and see what happened. So if you see here, go to this result, and if you see here, launch Chrome was successful, sign in failed, right? For the same reason I told you. Verify, success message skipped, logout skipped, close Chrome script skipped, right? So all three were skipped for the right reason. But if you think that, okay, my test were skipped, my tests were not executed, but I don't want this Chrome to remain open, right? So what you can do is, if you want a particular test to always execute, come what may, okay, be it be say for example, the close Chrome was not executed because it has a dependency on logout, and logout was skipped, right? But come what may, you want this particular method to execute. So what you can do is, you will have to add another attribute along with depends on method. Okay, so this is the attribute that you have to add. This attribute is available for @test annotation. All right, and you have to write as true. That's it. Always run is equals to true. So that means come what may, this method will always be executed. So let's close all this Chrome first. All right, there from last execution. So let me just go and right click, run as TestNG test. Okay, so if you see, uh, it launched the browser, and sign-in was failed, verify skipped, logout skipped, and close Chrome we have a green tick. That means close Chrome was executed, right? Despite the fact that there was a dependency between close Chrome and execution of verify success message. I'm sorry, execution of logout, right? But it has a dependency, but it was not executed. But still, close Chrome was executed. The reason is we have this attribute added, always run is equals to true. All right, but always remember that you don't have to use this. I mean, you don't have to use any other attribute. I mean, sorry, depends on method to use always run, right? You can keep it as it is like this. You don't need to add depends on method or any other attribute. Okay, you can use this freely. Okay, so this is all about depends on methods. Let's quickly check what is depends on group. Okay, that's a very basic ones. So instead of depends on methods, this time we are going to use, let me just remove all of this. Okay, now we are back to depends on 01 class, and this time we don't have, again, I mean, we don't have any dependency or depends on methods created. Now say for example, you want to close the Chrome only if these tests were successful, only if these tests were executed successfully. All right, so how you can create that dependency? All right, the one way is you can add dependency on all of them, right, one after the other, like the way we did earlier. Or what you can do is you can make all this test as a part of a group. All right, just I've already explained what is group in the last video, so you can go and refer that and name it as one of the groups. Say for example, init. All right, so let me make all of them as a part of init group. All right, till sign out. So they all are a part of a group, which name is init. All right. So what you can do is now, in order to create a relationship between close Chrome and the group init, that means we want to execute close Chrome only after all the tests which belongs to this group were executed successfully. All right. So let me just go and add that. So we have another attribute provided by TestNG. The name is groups equals to init. That's it. Okay, so let me reiterate. You are executing close Chrome only if all the tests which belongs to this group, that is init, were executed successfully. All right. So I have not added depends on methods on any of them. All right. All I'm doing is I'm putting all of these tests as a part of one group. Right, they all have same group, they are all a part of same group init. So let me just run this and see what happens. Run as TestNG test. Okay, now if you see, there was an assert statement, there was a failure here. You see here, there was a failure, right? So since we don't have any dependency as of now between these four tests, so they all will be executed, the fail one will be failed. All right. All right, so let me just, but if you see here, okay, let me just show you. Close Chrome was skipped. It was not executed. The reason is close Chrome depends on all this test. Launch Chrome, sign in, sign out, verify message. It depends on all the tests because these all tests are tied to one group, that is init. See, close Chrome depends on the groups init. So if any of the test within group init fails, then this will not be executed. All right. So that's the reason why this was skipped, because one of the test within the group init failed, and that was sign in. Okay. So let me just comment this out and let's see what happens now. Right click on it, run as TestNG test. All right, so if you see here, they all passed. Okay, and if you see here, we don't have any blue cross or anything like, so all of them passed. The reason is all the tests within the group, all the tests which belongs to group init were successful, and close Chrome depends on all the tests belonging to this group, that is init. All right, so this is all about depends on group. All right, and I guess I've covered everything that is needed for our day-to-day automation execution or scripting and execution. All right, so all the very best, and I hope to see you in the next video. Let me know if you have any question, queries. Just put it down in the comment box, and I'll be more than happy to help you with some answers on it. All right, so see you in the next video. Thank you.